In the Rialto Unified School District, part of our strategic plan states that we will provide learning opportunities outside the traditional school setting. Morgan Elementary School is doing just that with its Makerspace Lab. On today's episode of the Bridge Podcast, we are excited to talk to the Mustangs about the Makerspace Lab. Please welcome Morgan Elementary School student Cadence Bekke, Makerspace teacher Mr. Ronnie Kovach, and principal Mr. Jeremiah de la Cruz to the Bridge Podcast. So thank you so much for joining us, Team Mustang here. I want to first start off with you, Mr. Kovach. You have been a teacher in the Rialto Unified School District since 2004. Can you give us a little history of where you've been for our viewing audience?
I started at Preston Elementary.
School I went to.
Then I moved to Trapp. Then I moved to Kolb. And I did English and, math and science at Kolb and Mesa teacher.
So you've been at Morgan Elementary School for 6 years?
Yes.
Okay, and thank you, Mr. Jeremiah de la Cruz, fresh from Frisbee
Middle School.
And it seems like you've been at Frisbee Coursera. You started at 2005?
2005, yes.
As a teacher in Rialto Unified School District. Can you give us a little bit of your history as well?
Yeah, I started in 2005 at Curtis Elementary School as a 5th grade teacher. And then I also taught a 4-5 combo, which was unique and fun, a fun experience. At that time, after I went to the new Rialto Middle School when they were opening, and I taught 6th grade math and science as well. After that, I did teach 8th grade English for 2 years. And I also taught our teachers at Professional Development Center in the technology area.
Excellent. So we have 2 veterans here, and I want to, of course, go to our big star here, Cadence Bekke. Now, Cadence, you are in the 5th grade.
Yes.
And you're in Mr. Kovach's classroom.
Yes.
Yes? Now, I'm going to ask her first before I ask anybody else. Tell me a little bit about what you do with, is it Makerspace Lab?
Yes.
Okay, what is a Makerspace Lab?
A Makerspace Lab, it's kind of like where we make a whole bunch of different things for projects, or we code video games, and then it's just a whole lot of fun.
And a lot of it's coding and very technical?
Yes.
And you enjoy that?
Yes.
What is your favorite subject in school at Morgan Elementary School?
My favorite subjects in Morgan is math and writing. Math and writing?
Tell me why.
Because we just did this assignment where we had to write an essay about for Hispanic Heritage Month, and I really enjoyed that. And then math has always been my favorite subject.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, Mr. Kovach, I hear scholars like this, and we have them in our podcast, and oftentimes they will say, math is my favorite subject, which 10, 15, 20, 30 even years ago, you didn't hear a lot of that. And so I think one of the reasons is that we have teachers in the Rialto Unified School District, classroom teachers that make math exciting and fun and innovative. And I think with the Makerspace Lab, can you tell us the importance of it in school curriculum?
So, for example, the scientific method is quite similar to the engineering method. So the kids have to get in there and they have to try new things. They have to put themselves out there. So they're creating these projects from scratch. They have to fill out lab books for each individual project they do, and they have to work as a team, and they have to think through the problem. So it sort of leads back to, let's say, math, and they're doing the same thing in math, is they have to put themselves out there, and they just got to try. So, and that's what I'm sort of hoping I'm teaching them, especially, for example, in coding. When we do coding, there's a lot of math involved. So they have to know on the map, on their paper, where they want things moving, and so they have mathematically they have to work that out. So it all comes in, and they have to write scripts for. We do tiny podcast projects. They have to do scripts for those as well. They can make movies and record movies on WeVideo. So they're doing they have to write, they have to use math. They're using all of this stuff, all of these things they learn in a classroom, and they see, well, I do need to know these if I'm going to make it, if I'm going to do well.
Absolutely.
So.
Now, not a new administrator in the Rialto Unified School District, but definitely a first-year principal at Morgan Elementary School. How do you support how do you support Makerspace Labs? How do you support teachers financially as well as with social emotional support?
Well, first off, coming from Frisbee, we did have a MESA program there. So that was always something that captivated me, going to the MESA tournaments at UCR and all those other places. And when I found out I was coming to Morgan, I was like, well, we have a Makerspace. This is just the beginning with the younger kids to help them grow into their college and as well as their career in the future. So getting them excited about being in that class and allowing them to make mistakes and be challenged and come up with ideas that we never know that in the future, this may be something that, hey, that was our student at our school. And they're just doing great for not only themselves, but for others in the community and in the world.
That's great. Now, Cadence, I don't want to forget you here. I want to ask you, do you have brothers or sisters enrolled in the Rialto Unified School District as well?
Yes, I have 2 younger brothers at Morgan.
Oh, at Morgan. So you're the oldest sister?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so what can you look forward to in a day when you get up in the morning and you start your day at Morgan Elementary School?
I could look forward to seeing my friends and learning new things in class, and then sometimes we, after recess, we would go to Makerspace.
Okay.
And then we would learn that.
Now, is there Makerspace only in Mr. Kovich's classroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Makerspace. He's a Makerspace teacher.
He's the only Makerspace teacher there.
So students will rotate through his class throughout
That's what
the
I was
week.
wondering.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
and I see every class in the school, K through 5, once a week, and for about an hour. So I have each class for about an hour each week.
Mr. Kovach, how do you feel when you're looking at students and they're getting that aha moments, like Cadence, when she walks in there and she's excited? Does that motivate you as well, or you're like, oh, it's another day?
Definitely, it does motivate me. That's the part of the Makerspace that I really love, that the teachers in their classrooms don't normally see a lot of, is they come in there and they get excited about what we're doing. And I know I'm doing the same project I'm doing with the 5th grade. I'm also doing with 2nd grade and even lower sometimes. So we have to figure out a way. And a lot of times the 5th graders will help me figure out how it's going to work for the younger kids, how to make it a simpler process.
Okay, so it's very exciting and innovative.
Yes.
Excellent. And Mr. Dela Cruz, our principal of Morgan Elementary School, why should a parent that's listening think Morgan is the place I want to enroll my child for elementary school? Why would you say that would be?
Well, it's the best.
There you go.
There's plenty of opportunities for students to think outside of the box. And going in and seeing a student come up with an idea that wasn't even thought of by an adult ahead of time, that, hey, this is what the student's going to come up with, but they come up with something completely different. For example, a student was showing me his egg drop project, and he showed me the diagram, and this was a very detailed. I was like, wait a minute. I was mind blown.
Yeah.
Yes, I was mind blown seeing. I was like, you are going to protect this egg. You don't want it to crack. And just the way it was drawn out, it was sort of like a piece of artwork, you know? So he was doing science, but it was art at the same time.
He was very proud of it.
Oh,
He's
wow.
extremely proud of that design, the diagram.
That's excellent. So we have students like this, young scholars that we're giving them an opportunity to be creative, to be innovative. So it's not a traditional sit down in a classroom and it's really learning and engagement and rigor that's meeting there. And I have to end with you because you just have this wonderful love for your school and you enjoy going to school, which I think is great. If you were to describe, I'll put you on the spot, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. If you were to describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
It would be caring.
Caring. What do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be a chef
You want to be a chef. Why?
because I enjoy cooking a lot with my family. And then for summer school last year, I had a cooking class, and I loved doing it. Then I made some of the recipes at home.
Can you share some with us, or is it private?
We made, here's one that I wanted to make at home, but I wasn't able to. It was homemade lemonade. And then we made this is one I made at home, was a tortilla wrap, like sandwich thing.
Mm-hmm. Yum. Now you've got us all hungry. Thanks a lot. And so my last question to you is, if you could describe Mr. Dela Cruz, and if you can describe Mr. Kovach in one word, what would it be?
For Mr. De La Cruz, it would be loving.
And what about Mr. Kovach?
Mr. Kovach would be the best.
Oh, gosh. Now I can see Mr. Dela Cruz has a little bit of tear in his eye. Great. Make everybody cry. Will you come back and visit us soon?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Mr. Kovach, we appreciate everything that you do in the classroom. We know that's where the magic happens. And thank you for your leadership, Principal Dela Cruz.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
And,
you.
oh, thank you, my dear. And thank you. I'm Syeda Jafri. We'll be back next time on the Bridge Podcast.